Hey guys, my name's Ian. I'm an inline skater from Ontario, Canada. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're considering these as either your next or your first inline skates. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I like about them after skating them for an entire summer, what I don't like about them, and hopefully you can decide after watching this video whether or not these are the right skates for you. Okay, let's get into it. So there's a number of things that I really like about this skate and that I think are really, really cool, especially for something like this at this price point. And this video is probably going to be geared to more towards people who are more kind of getting into inline skating for the first time, or maybe getting back into it, and they're not really sure what direction they want to take their skating. That's where I think this skate really shines. There's a lot of great kind of entry level skates out there. If you kind of know what you're already going to be getting into, whether it's slalom, aggressive, or maybe you just want to hit some bike trails and do some fitness skating, that's fine. There's a lot of great skates out there. This, I think, is fairly unique in that it covers a lot of those bases, and it also gives you kind of the ability to dip your toe into some other disciplines that you can decide whether you want to get into more seriously down the road. Okay, so I want to start with the wheels. The wheels, unfortunately, I don't have anymore. I used them up. I did throw them out. I wish I kept them for this video. I replaced them with these, though. These are the rollerblade hydrogen wheels. These are a great inline skate wheel. They're the same diameter and same durometer reading as the wheels that came with the K2 Uptown. So that is to say that it's an 80 millimeter diameter and it has a durometer reading of 85A. 85A. So basically what that means is this is kind of like a really middle of the road average wheel, which is actually a good thing, especially if you're just starting to inline skate. With wheels, the larger the wheel, the faster it's going to go. The harder the wheel, the more it's going to slide. Then, of course, the softer the wheel, the more it's going to grip. So for a lot of people who are getting into inline skating, it's kind of tempting to go with a really soft wheel, like maybe a 78A, for example, on a fitness skate, and you're going to feel a little bit more stable. You're going to grip the pavement a little bit better. But I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend an 85A or there around. My favorite durometer reading is between 85 and 88A. Right now I'm skating some 90s 88A and they're phenomenal. They give you a lot of slide, a lot of speed. These are perfect for kind of, again, that middle of the road, middle ground, speed versus grip. So again, I don't have the wheels to show you, unfortunately, but I really like them compared to the Hydrogens, which are really high rated, fairly expensive, I guess, wheel. One of the top rated ones out there. I didn't really notice too much of a difference, which is a good thing. The wheels that came with it were great. I got a lot of skating out of them, so I think you'll be happy with them. I don't have anything negative or overly positive to say other than 80 millimeters with 85A is a great starting point if you're looking to get into inline skating and you're not entirely sure, again, which direction you're going to take it in. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the bearings. And the bearings are actually, I think, I want to say exceptional. I really like the bearings on the K2 Uptowns. And here's why. So this is the bearing, one of the bearings that comes with the skate. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. My camera skills aren't awesome. But this is a twin cam ILQ7 bearing. So what that means is, well, the company is Twin Cam, which is a reputable bearing company. So you know you're getting typically a good bearing. ILQ stands for inline quality, and it is a rating system kind of similar to ABAC, which you probably heard before, that will kind of give you an indication of what kind of quality of bearing you're working with here. And it goes up to 9, so 7 is good, but I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that. The ABAC and the ILQ ratings don't really mean a heck of a lot. When I'm deciding on a bearing, I like to go for the most affordable option from the most reputable company available, with some exceptions. There's a couple things that I really like with my style of skating that you might too. So I like to do a lot of city skating. So I'm hitting a lot of city streets. My skates are getting dirty a lot. There's a lot of grime and dust that could potentially get in these bearings. And the thing I like about these is that they're shielded on both sides. And instead of an oil in there, which makes this spin, they use a gel, which increases the longevity of the bearing as well. So these are just going to last a little bit longer. They spin really good. You're not going to have to worry about them getting super dirty in a really short period of time, as opposed to something like this, which is a fine bearing. This is an inline warehouse Swiss bearing. but you see how it's only shielded on one side? So that's just gonna get dirty a little bit quicker. So just for longevity, I like the double shielded bearing. I didn't have any issues with these. They roll good, they spin good. I think you'll be happy with them. Next is the frame. The frame is probably the coolest feature on these skates. And when I was talking earlier about why I think these are perfect for people who want to get into inline skating or maybe want to branch off into a different direction in terms of a new discipline, these skates are going to give you the opportunity to do that at a reasonable price point, and kind of explore different options. So what I mean is this. So this is your frame. Okay. It is an extruded aluminum 243 millimeter frame. So what that means is, of course, it's 243 millimeters in length, which means that the largest wheel you can put on this is an 80 millimeter wheel. So that means it's going to be really compact for that wheel size. You're not going to get a lot of space in between each wheel. I'll show it to you on the skate here, actually. And what that means is you're still getting a good size wheel, but because the frame is so short, you're getting really good maneuverability. Now, that's good in and of itself. Again, if you're just getting started, but the coolest thing about them are these little spacers here. So these inserts can be changed so that you can actually rocker your wheels. So instead of just having all four wheels flat, which is going to give you the best stability available on this particular frame, you can adjust these spacers so that your middle wheels are lower, or really however you want to adjust them. But the most typical rocker setup is going to be these two wheels, or these two spacers are going to be lower. You'll see the opening's a little bit lower down than the ones on the end. And that's going to allow you to try out some slalom tricks, do a little bit of freestyle skating. This is not a freestyle skate, but again, this is for people who maybe want to try that out, see if they like the feel of a rocker setup, and it's great for those types of people. That's what I did. I haven't really tried slalom skating before. And as a result, the next skates that I bought were actually slalom skates because I liked it so much, specifically for that discipline. Anyway, great frame. Extruded aluminum is a high quality way of fabricating aluminum. And then I think that those inserts are super cool if you want to branch out to some more freestyle skating. Now, one thing I didn't like about the frames, and I would say that this is kind of a minor thing, but with these inserts, they're super hard to get in and out. So it's not really something you can do easily when you're at a rink or just out doing some skating. You could theoretically, but I mean, I don't have super weak hands and I could not get these in with just my fingers. I don't know if it's just my skates or if they're all like that, but I actually had to use some pliers, and just so I didn't damage the frame, I put like a microfiber cloth over it and I had to squeeze them back in. So they're super stiff, but once they're set up, they're great. It's just you're not going to be able to really do it very easily on the go. That's all. Boot. Okay, this thing is an interest. So I got a bunch of hardware in here. This is a really interesting boot. So first off, aesthetically, I mean, this is subjective, but I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's got that cool sneaker, kind of aggressive look to it. It's got this aggressive cuff on there, which is super stiff. That's going to keep your foot or your leg really, really straight. And we'll talk about why that's a good thing and a bad thing in a second here. The toe on it, again, it looks like a shoe you get from Foot Locker here kind of thing. I mean, it looks really nice, kind of contemporary, trendy. You got this 45-degree strap here, which feels high quality. It is Velcro, but you know, it looks good. And then your upper buckle here, which is just kind of your standard plastic buckle. I didn't have any issues with this at all. I skated this a lot, but I want to talk about how to adjust this so that you're not gonna fall on your ass like I did the first time I tried these skates on. Hold on, I'm gonna get this hardware out of here. Got some bolts and spacers there. So this boot and frame is UFS. So UFS stands for Universal Frame System, and basically what that means is you can use a number of different frame options that also are UFS that are typically aggressive frames. So UFS is a frame mounting system that was kind of designed for aggressive skates. So that again makes this skate super weird because you have this ability to rocker the frame and skate on it like a slalom skater, but at the same time it's kind of designed like an aggressive skate. In fact, this sole plate here, it's not a true sole plate in that it's removable like most aggressive skates, but it's pretty solid. I never grinded on it, but apparently you can grind on this, but it is not removable. So once you wear it out, it's toast. So try out some grinds. Again, that's what I like about this. So you could try that type of thing out, get into the aggressive a little bit, see if you like the feeling of that, do a few grinds, and if not, then for your next pair of skates kind of where you want to go. So UFS mounts, which I think is great. Nice, solid, durable sole on it, so you can grind a little bit. Cuff on it, super stiff. Now you see these hinges right here. These are fake hinges, which I guess is just kind of an aesthetic thing that they wanted to put on it for appearance. Normally with skates that have this hinge, this upper cuff, you can move it back and forth. So you get a little bit better forward flex and a little bit of flex backwards as well. So a little bit more maneuverability. So you're going to notice when you put this on, this feels super, super stiff. And you're going to see probably some other reviews out there that say that there's almost no forward flex on the skate. And that is true. The first time I tried this on, I laced it all the way up to the top eyelets here. And I tightened that up because I like my skates nice, tight, for as much responsiveness as possible. Huge mistake. It felt really strange. If you're coming from ice skating, if you're a hockey player or anything like that, this is going to feel like you're always going to want to fall backwards. But there's a couple of things you can do to remedy that, which I'm going to talk about later on. But other than that, in terms of the boot, I don't have really anything too negative to say about it. Again, it's not the super most high quality boot, but it looks good and it is decent quality and it is durable. If you are going to do some aggressive tricks, just watch out though. Apparently you can stub your toe here. There's not a lot of like stiffness in there, so you can maybe get hurt. But yeah, standard lacing. I put some wax laces on here. Definitely recommend doing that with these skates as well. So aesthetically pretty cool, functionally pretty decent. No issues. Couple issues. Okay, so first, again, with the forward flex and what's called, I guess it's colloquially referred to as the K2 lean, very real. So when you're skating on these things, you're going to feel like you're always leaning back. Forward flex, you're not going to get a lot. However, super easy to fix. Okay, so don't worry about it if you buy these skates and they feel very strange. Yes, they're going to take some getting used to, but I'll tell you a couple of things that you can do right now, right off the bat, that are going to help you out tremendously. So first off, this buckle right here, you're only going to want to buckle it up to about the 4th or 5th, maybe 6th position, but that's about it. Do not go super tight on that because, again, you're not going to have a lot of forward flex. Secondly, just lace them up to the second eyelet. Don't go all the way up. You can pretty much tighten them up as much as you want. Just don't go to the top eyelet. 5th position on the buckle, and you'll be pretty much good to go. You're going to get plenty of forward flex if you do that, so don't sweat the flex. Now, in terms of the K2 lean, there's a couple adjustments I had to make for that. You could probably just skate it, get used to it, and not have any issues. I wanted to have a little bit more of a raised heel, not a lot, because I kind of like the flat feel of it, but a little bit more. So what I did is I got an insole. So these are the insoles that come with it. Okay, decent padding, nice contour for the foot. I got these Super Feet insoles, and they have a little bit of heel padding there and very flat up front here in the toe. So I figured, okay, this is going to give me a little bit more of a raised heel and maybe take care of some of that lean that I was experiencing. I tried it with just the Super Foot insole. Didn't really work out for me. I have really wide feet. I didn't like the contour of this very much. And it didn't give me enough space, it gave me too much space in the actual boot, so my foot was moving around too much. So then I tried it like this, with the Super Foot over top of the stock insole. Again, that was better, but again, I don't really like the way the Super Foot fits my feet. Now, I know tons of people do. These are apparently a really great product, but for me, I just got weird feet, I guess. Then I did it the other way around, and this was perfect. Like, I like the K2 insole, gave me enough of a raised heel, got rid of that K2 lean, and that is my perfect setup. So that's what I'd recommend maybe trying if you're having the same issues that I had. Get either a Super Foot insole or you can just get a little heel insert there, and that'll help you out. And make sure you do those adjustments with the laces going up to the second eyelet and the 5th position on the buckle, and I don't think you'll have any problems with the boot. So again, it's going to take some getting used to. It's going to feel weird at first, but once you find those perfect configuration, I think you will really like the way it feels. Not to mention, I find it really comfortable. And again, I do have pretty wide feet. So if you're like me and you got wide feet and you always feel like your toes are being crunched, you're not going to have that issue with this. So I think you will like it if you have wide feet. If you don't have wide feet, make sure you go true to size. Don't size up. Sometimes what I have to do if I'm buying sneakers, dress shoes, skates, whatever, I have to go a size up because my feet are too wide for some of the footwear out there. You will not need to do that as a result of having wide feet with these skates. So don't sweat it. Now, if you do find, and again, if you don't have wide feet, your feet are regular like everybody else, if you do find that your foot's moving around in there a little bit too much, which even I did, because I did size up with these because I was worried that they're going to be too skinny like most stuff I buy. So I'm a size 9. I went with a 10. Should have gone with a 9, and then I think I would have been a little better off. But with that 10, they were okay once I laced them up and everything like that. But I was getting a little bit of movement there in the skate. There's certain inline skate socks that you can buy that have a little bit of grip on them, and they help with pressure points. Rollerblade makes some. Power Slide makes the MyFit sock. I'm actually skating the Rollerblade socks in my new slalom skates right now, and they're pretty good, but they are not grip socks. If your foot's moving around a lot, I mean, grip socks are awesome. Like, I specifically was looking for something to prevent that from happening with these K2s, and I started looking into these grip socks that are used for soccer, and I bought myself a pair, and it made a huge difference for me with power transfer. Like, I'm surprised not more inline skaters or skate shops are selling these things because they're awesome. So I'm going to show you the ones that I got here. Okay, so I got a pair of these things, and these are True Socks. That's the brand, and they're designed for soccer. A lot of pro soccer players use them, and they have these little grippy knobs on the outside and the inside of the sock. These fit me perfectly. They are really high quality material. I skated on them a lot, and they're still in perfect shape, like they're brand new. But they're freaking expensive. So I would use that as like a last resort, or maybe try like a cheaper pair. I just didn't want to like try a cheaper pair, them not work out, and then have to try a more expensive pair. True Socks is kind of like the gold standard for these types of socks, and they were like $60 Canadian or something like that. So I mean, you can buy shoes cheaper than that. But I really wanted to try them out. I'm glad I did. And if you're having that issue, it's probably going to help you out quite a bit. So try it out if you need to. So that is my review, I guess, or my impression of the K2 Uptown. Do I like the skate? I do. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, to certain skaters. So again, if you're just starting out, I think this is a great option. Again, there's a lot of other options out there at this price point that are good beginner skates, that are fitness skates or urban street skates. And you know, you could go with those if you want, but again, the thing I like about this is if you don't know what direction you're going to take your skating, this is going to help you find that path. And it did for me, and I think it will for you as well. It's a cool looking skate. It's a high quality skate for the price point, and I think it's worth the money. I think they're like $300 Canadian or something like that, which is not cheap, but it's kind of, that's where you're probably going to be if you want to get a decent set of skates. I know some people, they're like, well, I'm just starting out. I'll get a pair of like fitness skates for $70 or something like that. And everybody has like their budget, and I get that. Just be careful with those ones though. It might turn, I don't know, it might turn you off inline skating altogether, because you want something that's going to be decent quality, so that you kind of know what it's all about. You don't want a piece of crap equipment, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I hate inline skating. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you just don't like that particular skate. So with these, I don't think you're gonna run into that issue. They're good enough quality, and they're, I think, at a relatively decent price point, that I think they're pretty good buy for a lot of people using, you know, those specific applications or looking to get into them. All right, guys, again, my name's Ian. I'm from Ontario, Canada. This is my first YouTube video, so if you liked it, I guess hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button and tell me why. go easy on me. I'm going to be trying to do a little bit more of these. I'm definitely going to be doing some skate flow videos as well. It's March. It's actually St. Patrick's Day right now. Went for my first skate of the year today. It was freaking awesome. I'm pumped to get back out there and take you guys hopefully along with me. So if you want to subscribe. Hopefully by the time you watch this, I got a few more videos up. You can check me out. If not, then check back in a few weeks or a month and see what I'm doing. Hopefully have some fun on this channel with you guys. Anyway, K2 Uptowns, if you have any questions about them, just leave them in the comments. I probably left a ton of stuff out. There's some more stuff I had in my notes I wanted to talk about that I missed. But let me know, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Thanks, guys.